So, I got a question for you, Kay. Have you ever wondered, can you catfish a catfish?
In all honesty, I have wondered, can you ever catfish a catfish? But how? Like, how would you catfish a catfish?
So, okay, it's weird because me, I am a drag persona. I love doing drag. And,
Uh-huh.
when you do drag, sometimes, it's not you who is in the picture, it's your persona. Some people consider that catfishing. Would you consider being a drag queen a catfish?
I have mixed emotions about that because a drag queen is two people. So, I mean, depends on the person you are that day, I guess.
Correct. I say the same thing. Me, I say you can catfish a catfish because catfish are not looking for the same things that they're looking for, if you get what I'm trying to say. If a catfish is trying to get information from you, a catfish is going to be like, oh, this or oh, that. You understand what I'm trying to say? They're going to leave certain red flags that are gonna be so noticeable. So, do you think a catfish would catch on to those red flags of another catfish?
Maybe if you were smart enough, for example, if I wanted to catfish someone, I would like try to play really smart. So instead of asking similar questions that they would be asking, I'd ask a little more like straightforward questions, if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, okay. I understand. And if you were a catfish, what would be the first catfish that you would try to catfish?
That's so funny. I'm not sure, honestly. I'm honestly not sure. I would love for Neve and Max to be here because why not bring somebody who knows a lot more about catfish? I do know a few catfishes. I can't give you guys names, but I do. Um, now, if I was a catfish myself, I play it slick and I play it smart.
So,
I play it my way. It'd be my game.
since our audience still hasn't seen a face reveal from any of our podcast members, what is one thing that you would like to express yourself or give a hint to all social platforms that they could try and find who you are?
I love tattoos. That's something that I mostly love. If you know who I am, or maybe you think you know who I am, you guys should definitely send an email or a call.
And right now we have our email for kltpodcast7 at gmail.com, which is open to any of our fans who are willing to send in any ideas or any type of information that you would like to hear on our podcast.
Yes, that is correct. So, guys, come on. Send us a
So,
lot of, well, not a lot of information, but send us like ideas. It'd be great.
correct. Back to catfish and a catfish. With that being said, most catfish they roam in the internet, correct? Or do you think that they roam more in day-to-day basis?
In my honest opinion, I feel like if you want to be a catfish, you can be a catfish via social media, or you can be a catfish right then and there as a person. Actually, like it doesn't necessarily have to be online or in social media at all. I feel like if you're trying to be a catfish, you just be a catfish. You just gotta play it smart, obviously. And not saying that I'm a catfish, I will never be a catfish, but you know, it's not that hard.
It's me, and I have had my Instagram and my Twitter for a while. And since I am a drag queen, I have one for my persona. I have one for myself, and it keeps being shut down because they think I'm a catfish. I post pictures and videos without any facial hair,
Uh-huh.
and it completely transforms my face into a different person.
And
And
like, what if you?
people have commented on that like, "Are you a catfish? You don't look like if you're real." And I'm like, 100% real?
Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, I can't say the same for myself because I do not or have ever catfished someone, but I can say a lot of people think like are you exactly what you said, like are you real? Like, like can I touch you through the screen if I can? And it's like, girl or guy or like, yes, I'm real. I mean, obviously I breathe.
Have you ever been catfished in your life?
um Depends on how you're putting it.
So, like,
Because
have you ever thought
I,
you were speaking to somebody, but it's another person?
so this is what had happened was so what had happened was I have not gotten catfish that I know of, but they have used my face to try and catfish others. If you understand where I'm coming from.
So you were the catfish, in other words.
According to social media, yes,
Oh
yes.
Lord. Jesus Christ, give it up for that catfish though. Back to you.
But no.
Okay, and another question for this topic that we have from people who have sent it in is, how do you deal with having a catfish? How do you deal with all of that basically just like bubbling up out of everywhere?
Like, do they mean, like if they knew that the person was a catfish, but they kept it like as a secret? Like, I know you're a catfish, but I'm not gonna say anything about it, or how would
Like,
they mean?
okay, good example. Let's say people are catfishing as our third producer, LSD. So they'll
Okay.
use LSD's name out there and be like, "Hi, I'm LSD. Nice to meet you." And then they'll do things while using LSD's picture, persona, name, any type of information they have about them. How would
Okay.
LSD deal with getting rid of a catfish?
So that's pretty much what I was telling you guys, that someone was actually doing that, exactly that. It's a little different and it's a little weird because you as the person and being the one that they're using to be the catfish here, you get very angry just because you don't know what this person is capable of doing or capable of saying to other people,
Fuck.
and it can ruin someone's life and their reputation.
Correct. And sometimes people can consider a catfish an inner monster. Am I correct or not?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, and that brings us into our next topic of our episode, which is confronting inner monsters. You know, some people some people have a lot of inner monsters, and some people tend to hide their inner monsters behind a mask. Sometimes people tend to always find a way to hide their monsters when they should be trying to battle their monsters. But sometimes those monsters are just people that surround you. For an example, me, I became a monster towards many people when I stopped caring about fulfilling their dreams. I started worrying about me. Once I started worrying about me, it was so easy to be able to move on and do the things that I have to do. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, sometimes my inner monster is just the monster that people portray me in. But guess what, bitches? I'm friends with the monsters who live under my bed. Easy as that. Point blank, period.
Don't we all have like that one person though?
Exactly. How about you,
Yeah.
Kay? Have you ever had an inner monster that you had to confront?
Actually, yes. My inner monster is, having to put boundaries because once you set boundaries, that's when people are gonna realize exactly where you're coming from and who you are as a person. I had to put boundaries in order for others to respect where I came from and respect me in general. So yes, that's the monster I have to have.
And it's funny because those people that were your inner monsters, did they ever think that what they were doing was wrong? Or did they just think that it was okay for them to get away with it?
I mean, I'm not so sure because I'm not them, but in my perspective, I feel like the people that I had to put boundaries for and the people that I put boundaries with would not be understanding of where I was coming from. So it's like, when somebody blames you for something that you haven't done, and it's like, yeah, you just get blamed and blamed and blamed, but literally, in all reality, it's not you. It's not you. It's pretty much what they want, when they want, and how they want. No, you need to set boundaries in life, and that's what I learned to do.
Correct, correct. And sometimes it may be hard to put boundaries up. Some people think that boundaries means cutting off friends, cutting off family, cutting off even lovers. And what they don't understand is that you don't have to cut them off. You just have to cut off the toxicity that they're bringing into your life. You
Putting
have
boundaries sets you free. It's not that you want to get rid of anyone. It makes you feel free. It makes you feel like you have an input. It makes you feel like you have a say in your life. So I think putting boundaries is great, and I feel like a lot of people should put boundaries in life in order to be happy.
if you can go back to the past and go see baby K, let's say a good 5-year old baby K, what is one thing that you would tell baby K to get her through all those inner monsters that she will encounter through life?
You're a tough bitch, like, and I don't even call myself a bitch, but you're strong as hell, and I'm proud of you, honestly.
It's me. If I could go back and see baby T's, I would tell baby T's, grab this world by the horns, baby. Don't let them take you by the horns. Because in this world, people will tend to try and step over you, but you cannot let that happen. You gotta be the one to put your foot down and say what you want, when you want it, and how you want it. Because if you don't do it in this world, nobody will do it for you. And that's a lesson that I had to learn the hard way.
Agreed.
And sometimes those inner monsters can be funny monsters. And sometimes they could be monsters that mock you. Sometimes it could be monsters that cross a line. Sometimes it could be even personal monsters like me. I do not like being the center of attention. That's one of my inner monsters. I do not like being the center of attention, but I am a drag queen. When I am myself, when I am my diva, and all those spotlights hit me, all that, it just goes away. But once those lights turn off, girl, it's like, bam, I'm back, bitch. But sometimes when you have inner monsters like that about yourself, it's good to let them out. Because me, I don't care no more what people think about me. Because who the fuck are they to judge me? Ain't nobody could judge nobody. Nobody's perfect.
Everyone's beautiful in their own way, and I actually, you don't like being the center of attention, but hey, I actually like it. Um, when it comes to positivity,
Correct.
not no mean, not anything like to be disrespectful. I like to help others. I like to, like, if I can stay here and help the world, I would. That's the type of self light I like to have on myself, pretty much.
Okay, okay. As you should. And then, for the monsters, back to this topic real quick. And then we'll head on to our next topic. A monster. When, let's say Somebody has you as their inner monster. How would you try to change yourself to be not an inner monster, if you get what I'm trying to say? Let's say that even you see it, the way that you're acting is wrong. How would you change it to not be a monster nor a self-tour towards anybody or towards yourself?
Well, I'm a very positive person, so if I can change anything that I've done in life, or if I can sit here and apologize for something that I have made somebody feel, I'm gonna sit here. And a lot of people would think that's like, oh, you're like you're taking your pride, and no, 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 no. You don't need pride for any of this, all right? It's okay to like be like, if you messed up, you messed up. It's okay to apologize. It's okay to say I'm sorry, and that's exactly what I do. Like if I feel like I'm offending someone, I apologize, and if I can sit here and work shit out with people, I'll sit here and work shit out with people. I know when I'm wrong, and I know when I'm not wrong. But again, it is what it is. Pretty much, if I have to change myself, or if I have to make a few adjustments to the way I am, then I will, because you know what? Life's too short for this shit.
Hmm. Now, a good question that I have for you is, have you ever had an embarrassing story that nobody has ever heard of?
Yes, and I am so embarrassed of even sharing it with the world right now. But
Drum roll, please.
okay, so yeah, this is like a few years back. I was actually in my hometown, Boston, and so I had to go to the park. But I was like in a cafeteria, and I went to use the restroom in the cafeteria before leaving. So once I left the cafeteria, I think I'm cute. I think I'm the shit. I'm literally walking like I'm a model down the street till I got to the park, and all of a sudden, like somebody taps on me and says, like, "Ma'am, like you have like a long ass piece of toilet paper right on your ass," and I was like, "What? No way."
Not
I was so
even on your
embarrassed.
shoe, but coming
Not
out
even
of your ass.
Yes, it was literally hanging from my pants out. And I'm like, oh my God, how embarrassing is this? And again, I was walking down the street to the park, and that was just so embarrassing. And still to this day, it's so embarrassing just to walk by the park. It's terrible.
You see me? Okay, so let's take a little trip through memory lane. So me, I went to a vocational prep college and
Hmm.
I used to be a residential student. While being a residential student, you have to live within the campus of your center. So, I'm living okay. I do my trade that I have to. And, after it, we were hosting a party. Okay, so I'm doing me. I'm looking all nice, all sexy. I got my hair done. I had lashes put on. I just got a fresh set of acrylics put on and everything, girl. I put on my high heels. I'm walking down the stairs. I didn't notice that they just finished waxing the stairs. I fell ass first from the fourth floor of my building all the way down to the first floor. And there were people looking at me in the front through the cameras. They all
Oh,
sent me the video, like, oh my God, are you okay? I was like, oh my God, no way. I can't.
that would have terrible.
That is horrible.
Yeah, terrible, terrible.
Hell yeah, it's horrible. Girl, imagine like you have to explain to somebody, oh yeah, girl, sorry I'm late to the party, I had to pick myself up from the floor, catch my breath real quick, make
Oh
sure
no, no.
nothing ain't broken. Like, that shit's crazy.
That is terrible. But if any of you guys have like embarrassing stories you guys would like to share with us, you guys can always email us and send it to our email, or you guys can also just always call and talk about it here live.
Exactly. Or sometimes what we are gonna start doing is we are gonna host lives either on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter. All you can find us under is KLT's Podcast 7. Remember, KLT Podcast 7 to find us within any social media. Some days we'll be doing giveaways. Some days we will be looking for some of our fans to collab with. So
Some we like to sing, so we can have like a round off if you guys want.
exactly, that's another clue that they don't know about Kay. Kay loves to sing.
Yes, I do.
She sings Spanish, English, and any type of music that can be out there. You will hear Kay singing.
Yes, and I'm excited to share that with you guys as well.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys for joining us with another episode of KLTs. I'm one of your hosts, T's.
And I'm your girl Kay, so we're expecting you guys to see you next week.
Thank you very much. Make sure to join us next week for our tropical vibe. Dun dun dun. Tropical vibe, remember. So next week we will be tropical. We would be either drinking something tropical or eating something very fruity. Make sure to join us next week on KLT.